Disneyland just recently added Fastpass to several more attractions, and they've increased the price of Maxpass. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to make the most of Fastpass and Maxpass on your next Disneyland trip in 2020. So let's dive in. Hey there everybody, my name is Eric D, and on this channel my goal is always to help make your next Disney adventure a little bit more magical, with tips, tricks, food reviews, and vlogs about my trips. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel because I have a lot of great stuff coming your way. But in this video we're going to be talking specifically how to make the most of Fastpass and Maxpass in 2020 at Disneyland. I know many of you who watch my channel are very familiar with Disneyland, but I'll give a quick overview of what Fastpass is and Maxpass, and then we'll talk specifically about strategies and tips and tricks. Both Fastpass and Maxpass allow you to hit some of the most popular attractions in the park without having to wait in a very long line, and that's because you reserve a time to come back. While this has some similarities to Walt Disney World's Fastpass system, you don't have to book 60 days out or 30 days out or anything like this. This is all same day in the park. Fastpass is free and included with your park admission. All you have to do is take your park ticket, go to the front of the Fastpass attraction, find the kiosk, and get your return time there. It will give you a paper receipt in most cases, but that paper receipt is only a reminder. The real Fastpass is on your ticket. So then when it comes time for you to return to the attraction, you just scan your park ticket at the Fastpass entrance, and you walk on in and have a reduced wait time. It's pretty great. Maxpass makes it even more convenient because you don't even have to go to the entrance of the attraction to get a Fastpass. You just get on your Disneyland Park app, and you can select the different attractions there. You can see the wait times, you can see the Fastpass return times. You just select which one you want, and you can get one right there. So why would people be using standard Fastpass when they could be using Maxpass? Well, the biggest reason is Maxpass costs extra. And as of February 11th, 2020, Disney raised the price for Maxpass to $20 a day for a single ticket. And that's not per group or per family, that is per person. And so if you have a family of 4, that's gonna be $80 for one day to use Maxpass. So that convenience does cost, but you do get some added benefits. Number one, the convenience of Maxpass, that you can do it all on your phone. Usually in my family, I am the runner to go and get the fast passes, so I'll run to the different locations of the attractions. I'll get the fast pass and run back to wherever we're at. If we're eating or if we're waiting for another attraction, I'll go back and wait in line with them. So the convenience of having it all on the phone is a big deal and saves a lot of running around and a lot of time. But also you gotta take into account that $20 per day, that is like 4 churros, that's like 2.5 funnel cakes. However you wanna break it up, maybe your family would enjoy that or your group of friends would enjoy that money in a different way. So you just have to take those things into account. Another benefit with Maxpass is you get all the on-ride photos and all the photographs that PhotoPass photographers take during your day. So that's a huge benefit, especially if you're gonna be taking a lot of photos, and those on-ride photos are always classic, so it's fun to get those. 2 more benefits with Maxpass is it actually can help you get more fast passes throughout your day. For example, if you just have standard Fastpass and go to an attraction at 10 a.m., scan your ticket, and it says come back at 1 p.m., you can't get another Fastpass for a different attraction for 2 hours, or until, if the attraction's at 11, you could get one at 11, but let's say it was 1 p.m., you got it at 10 a.m., that means you can't get another one until noon. But if you use Maxpass, your wait time is 30 minutes less, so 90 minutes means 11:30, you're able to get another Fastpass. So you're saving 30 minutes each time on that, so that can really help out. And the other thing that Fastpass can't get you that Maxpass can is throughout the day, people might be canceling their Fastpasses. You can actually cancel it if you decide, I don't want to go on Soarin' later, or I don't want to go on Guardians of the Galaxy. They can cancel those out. And earlier return times can actually appear on Maxpass. So that's a huge benefit because you might look there at one point in the day and say, oh, it's out till 5 p.m. Then look again and say, oh, there's a 3 p.m. time that just popped up, and you can grab that. And that's because people can return them, so that's a big benefit of Maxpass also. Even with the price increase, I recommend Maxpass for the convenience, but I totally understand that $20 a day adds up quick. So my recommendation would be, if you can't do Maxpass for every day of the trip, maybe look strategically at which day is gonna be the busiest. Are you gonna be there for a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Friday is probably gonna be the busiest. So maybe get it for everyone that day as a special surprise or a special treat. Or maybe Monday is a holiday and you're there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Maybe on Monday, be using it that day. The other thing I recommend to everyone is, even if you're not gonna get Maxpass for everyone, I would get it for one person just for those photos. $20 a day for on-ride photos and all the photos that the PhotoPass photographers take is still a great deal, so I definitely recommend at least one person gets it. Just make sure the PhotoPass photographer scans your app after they take the picture, so it will be linked to your account. And as you leave the attraction and you see those photos, make sure you take down the number so you can enter it into your app so you can download those photos, because that's a real great thing to take home and really great memories there. And even if you're just doing standard Fastpass and you don't buy MaxPass, you can still link your park ticket to the app and keep an eye on your Fastpass return times through the app. And that's a great thing, because one thing you'll definitely want to keep an eye out for is if one of your rides that you have a Fastpass for shuts down unexpectedly during your return time, because then you'll receive a special Fastpass called a multiple experience Fastpass. That can usually be used anytime throughout the day, and it can also be used on any of the Fastpass attractions. So that's a great thing. For example, if you wanted to go on Big Thunder Mountain, it shuts down, so now you can't go on that one. You can either wait to use it later in the day to see if Big Thunder Mountain opens back up, or maybe you want to go and hit Indiana Jones, or maybe you want to go on the Haunted Mansion. You can use that multiple experience Fastpass for any of those attractions, which is really awesome. So let's talk about the attractions that do have Fastpass, and then we're going to talk about my strategies for how to make the most of it. Over at Disneyland, the attractions that have Fastpass are Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, Haunted Mansion, or the Haunted Mansion Holiday, Indiana Jones Adventure, It's a Small World, or at Christmas time, It's a Small World Holiday, the Matterhorn Bobsleds, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Star Tours The Adventure Continues, and as of February 2020, they just added Autopia. And Disney also announced that Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run will be getting Fastpass in early 2020. You can also get a Fastpass for Fantasmic. The great thing about the Fantasmic Fastpass is it doesn't block you out from getting attractions throughout the day. It's just to make sure you can get into that show later on that evening. Over at Disney's California Adventure, the attractions they have there are Goofy's Sky School, Grizzly River Run, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, or at Halloween time, Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark, the Incredicoaster, Radiator Springs Racers, Soarin' Around the World, Toy Story Midway Mania, and as of February 2020, they just added Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue, and also World of Color. Once again, with World of Color, just like Fantasmic, it doesn't block you out from getting other Fastpasses, but you will want to get World of Color or Fantasmic early in the day so you can see that show in the evening, because those always do run out. The first basic tips that any Disneylander will tell you is as soon as you're able to get another Fastpass, which it will tell you either on your return time or on the app, definitely go and get a new Fastpass. You definitely don't want to lose time in between attractions where you don't get Fastpasses for a while, so definitely keep an eye on those return times and also when you're able to get another Fastpass. One of the attractions that currently doesn't have Fastpass, but everything we know says it will at some point in the future have Fastpass, is Rise of the Resistance. This is the amazing new attraction in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If you haven't been on it yet, you're going to love it. And currently, what you need to do to get on there is to arrive before the posted opening time of Disneyland. They start letting everyone in before the park opens. They'll let you in on Main Street, and you need to have your Disneyland Park app ready to go. Because right when, if it's, for example, opens at 8 a.m., right when the park opens, that is when you need to get a boarding pass on your app. And that will let you and your party, as long as you select everyone's tickets, will let you and that party eventually get on the ride later in the day. But those boarding passes are disappearing within minutes. So it's not a fast pass in the sense of it doesn't tell you come back at 1 p.m. The reason why Disneyland is doing it this way is the attraction is currently still having some downtime. So instead of having everyone get in line or telling Fastpass people come back at 10 a.m. If the attraction is down at that moment, they don't want everyone having to get out of line or all the Fastpass people coming, not being able to get on there. So with the boarding passes, what they're able to do is say, okay, the ride's currently open, this many groups come on in right now. And so then they can help those people get through the line pretty quick. But the main thing is you need to be in the park before the park opens. So make sure you're there plenty early to get in line, and make sure you have your park tickets all linked on your Disneyland app. When they do start offering Fastpasses for Rise of the Resistance, that will be my #1 attraction to go to. But since they aren't going to be offering Fastpasses for that one for a while, let's talk about what my strategy is otherwise. So when I first get into the park, if I have MaxPass, I'm right away reserving this, or if I have standard Fastpass, I'm walking to this attraction to get it. I would either go to Space Mountain or to Indiana Jones. Those two attractions tend to go up with the Fastpass return times the quickest, and also those lines are always a bit longer. After I did that and got those for my party, I would likely go over to, if it's a warm enough morning, I would go to Splash Mountain, because at that point in the morning, it's like a 5-minute wait. You are basically walking onto Splash Mountain. And then depending on your group size, you can decide whether maybe you want to hit the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh if you have some younger guests with you. If not, I would head over to Pirates of the Caribbean, because once again, that is a fast moving attraction, and that early in the morning, there's not going to be much of a wait. And then I would hop on Jungle Cruise. Usually by that time, if I was there first thing in the morning, I am now able to use my first Fast Pass for either Space Mountain or Indiana Jones. So that's the time when I get my next Fast Pass. Once again, I would choose, if I want to go on one of those attractions, I would choose the one I didn't already choose before. At that point, once I already have my second Fast Pass and I've already gone on that first Fast Pass attraction, I usually grab some breakfast because I'm usually getting hungry at that time. I mean, we don't want to see Eric when he doesn't have food in his belly. And then I will look at some other options, whether it's in Fantasyland, because usually at that time things like Casey Jr. and the Storybook Canal boats are opening up, or also look at some things like Toontown is just opening up. So if you want to go and meet Mickey or something like that. Then once your second Fast Pass attraction is ready, that's usually when I go and get my third. And at that point, you can look at different options, whether you want to go on Big Thunder Mountain or if you want to go on Matterhorn bobsled. Those would be my next options. Also, if you didn't want to go on Splash Mountain early in the day, that is when I would look at Splash Mountain. Now, as the day goes on, you can hit those big attractions if you want to again, but sometimes I know with the people I travel with, sometimes going on roller coasters multiple times, that's a little bit much, or Indiana Jones multiple times, that's too much. So that's when I keep an eye on some of the other attractions, like Haunted Mansion, Small World, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, and Buzz Lightyear. These attractions usually don't give out too many Fast Passes because people are using them more on the big e-tickets that are a little faster paced, a little bit more exciting. But these attractions are great, but they can get 30 to 45-minute waits. There is no need for you to be waiting 45 minutes to an hour for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin or Buzz Lightyear. And I have seen those lines get up there and I see people waiting in it, but the return time oftentimes is like 40 minutes out. So you could either be using your Fast Pass to not have to wait in line and go and do something else like Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, grab a treat, people watch, the Tiki Room or something else. If you've already hit the big attractions that you wanted to, use your Fast Pass on one of those in the evening. Another thing to keep in mind with my family and even the friends I go with, we usually go back to the hotel midday to take a nap and get rested up because we're there early in the morning. And before we leave, I always look what attractions, what the return times are, and see what's going to be in the evening already. So maybe Space Mountain is already at 6 p.m. and we're leaving at 2 in the afternoon for a nap. That's a great time to grab one of those Fast Passes. So when you get back, you can get another Fast Pass for another attraction, and you can head to Space Mountain and have a ride that evening. A great thing about MaxPass that also helps you get more attractions in is while you do have to be in the park and your whole party has to scan their tickets into the park to start getting MaxPasses, once you exit the park and go back to the hotel, as long as you have your app, you can still be making more reservations. So after 90 minutes of getting that Space Mountain Fast Pass, you could reserve something else, maybe a Big Thunder Mountain. So then you could have a really exciting evening where you have a great dinner, go and hit Space Mountain, go and hit Big Thunder Mountain, then hit the fireworks. It's gonna be a great night. So definitely look for opportunities to still be using MaxPass or FastPass as you're exiting the park or when you're back at the hotel room. Once again, reserving from the hotel room, that is only once you've scanned all the tickets in the park and only on MaxPass. So now let's talk about what I would do for Disney's California Adventure. The two attractions that I would go for first are Radiator Springs Racers or Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And in all truth, I would probably go for Radiator Springs Racers first. Once I get those Fast Passes, I would head on back to the Incredicoaster and Toy Story Midway Mania and hit those, because oftentimes the big crowds go for the two attractions I just mentioned, so a lot of them turn off there. And the line for Incredicoaster is usually 10 minutes at most, a walk-on when the park first opens, and also Toy Story Midway Mania is also very quick when the park first opens. So get over to that area, have some fun on that. By the time you go on both of those, usually your first Fast Pass, if you were there early enough in the morning, you can now go on Radiator Springs Racers. If that's the case, I would get a Fast Pass for Guardians of the Galaxy. So then as I'm waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy, I would check out like Monsters Inc. I would go to the animation building, maybe do the Animation Academy, or go over to PhilharMagic, that show, watch that show. After I've done those three attractions, kind of spent some time in Hollywoodland, maybe gotten a treat, one of those donuts from Schmoozies, then it's time to go on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. You don't want to eat too much before that one, but after that attraction, the next one I would get a Fastpass for is Soarin'. Those are my top 3 attractions to definitely get them for at Disney's California Adventure. As you're waiting for your Soarin' Fastpass, that's a great time to go and check out the Little Mermaid and also the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Another attraction you might want to get a Fastpass for if it's a hot summer day or if it's a warmer afternoon is Grizzly Peak River Run, because that line can get long, but at the same time, depending on the time of year, it might not be too bad. Keep in mind, as I mentioned before, with World of Color and Fantasmic, those Fastpasses won't block you out from any other attractions, but you will want to get those early in the day because they do run out. So make sure as you're getting your first Fastpass in the day, also be grabbing World of Color or Fantasmic if you want to see one of those shows in the evening time. While in this video, the examples I gave was strictly a day at Disneyland and a day at California Adventure, usually I'm hopping back and forth between the parks. So maybe I'll start off with the Space Mountain Fastpass at Disneyland, and once that return time opens up, then I'll go over to California Adventure or use MaxPass to get one for Radiator Springs Racers. So it's a great thing to get them for both parks. Remember, you can only have one at a time until that Fastpass return time opens up, but you can have Fastpasses in both parks. Something very exciting that's coming to the Disneyland Resort in 2020 is this summer, Avengers Campus will open over at California Adventure. And I'm totally excited for this. I'm a big Marvel fan. And when it opens, it is going to have the Spider-Man attraction. Everything we know about it, all the kind of plans that we've seen, do show that this will have Fastpass, and we're assuming it will have Fastpass when it opens. And so for those first few weeks, whenever a new attraction opens, it's always the most popular. So I would highly recommend using your Fastpasses for that attraction and getting them very early when that ride first opens. Over time, it might slow down a little bit, and maybe I would recommend your first Fastpass should go back to Radiator Springs Racers or Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. But for at least those first few weeks when it's open, definitely to get on that Spider-Man attraction, go for that one. And if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link up above, but Walt Disney Imagineering released some footage of their Stuntronic animatronic, so an animatronic that does stunts that they're going to have at Avengers Campus. So Spider-Man will literally be swinging over the buildings. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited to see how they pull it all together because it looks awesome. So definitely check out that video to learn more about that. In the comments below, I'd love to hear what are your tips and tricks for Fastpass, kind of what's your family or your group of friends strategy, because I know every family and group of friends, they kind of have their own way they like to do things in the park. So I would love to hear your tips and tricks below. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like. And as I mentioned before, please consider subscribing to the channel because I have lots of great tips, tricks, food reviews coming to help make your next Disney adventure a little bit more magical. Definitely check out some of my other food reviews, like my food review of all the different character breakfasts at Disneyland and some of the other cool things with Fantasmic dining packages that they have. But for now, hopefully you have a very magical day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you real soon. Bye.